Unfortunately, I'm in this country because I've been persecuted in my own home country. It's a necessity to drive. It's not something of luxury. And as you know, I have family in my country that are also hostile and in a dangerous situation, so I'm the only provider.
So you admit you're violating the law of driving without a license for the reason of necessity.
That's fine. And it's for necessity, Your Honor.
Yeah, you just told me you drove to work. You're sitting in a car with no other people in it.
And it's for necessity.
I am ordering that your appearance bond be revoked.
That's fine.
We are on the record in 2024 TR 1495, State of Kansas versus Ludi Eliezer Martinez Torres. Mr. Torres, you are charged with one count called operating a motor vehicle without a license, called a Class B misdemeanor, which means your penalties could be up to and no more than a $1,000 fine and 6 months in jail. Generally, the fines are in the lower range and probation is granted. Now, if you can get your license in the near future, you might be eligible for a program called diversion that could result in the charge being dismissed. But you do have to be able to get your license in the near future. Do you want?
Yo, tristemente, soy perseguido por el gobierno de Nicaragua porque
First
nunca
of all,
tuve,
Your Honor, unfortunately, I'm in this country because I've been persecuted in my own home country in Honduras.
es por lujo o por gusto andarlo manejando, sino simplemente es una necesidad
You
para
know,
poder
it's a necessity to drive. It's not something of luxury.
que me queda allá en el país,
That
que
way I can help my family back in in my country. And as you know, I have family in my country that are also hostile and in a dangerous situation, so I'm the only provider.
What country are you from?
yo soy de Nicaragua.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I previously said Honduras. It's actually Nicaragua.
All right, you said something different than what he said?
Yes, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I thought I heard Honduras.
Okay, so you're from Nicaragua.
Sí, soy de Nicaragua.
Yes.
And how did you end up here?
Entonces tuve esa oportunidad cuando estaba el presidente Biden. Y
I was
entonces,
entered into with President Biden's during President Biden's presidency, and it was through a permit through that I was able to get in.
Okay, so you came in legally with a permit
sí,
from President Biden?
sí, me dieron los papeles de lo que es como el parol, algo así.
Yes, it was like a parole paperwork or something like that.
All right, so you were granted paperwork to enter, you didn't enter and then get your paperwork.
Como sí soy perseguido por el gobierno de allá, hostigado, y a mí el gobierno allá, pues todos los que
Un
nosotros,
momento, señor Luis. Yes, it was given to me when I entered through the border as I was being persecuted in my own country.
And what type of persecution were you receiving?
estuvo casi 4 años preso, me torturó, me hicieron
So
cosas
it
pues que fue
was
muy,
from law enforcement and state security. It was I had already gone through 4 years of torture from them. It's just things that politics that they're not okay in that country.
So you're crossways with the Nicaraguan government and they've tortured you and you've gotten permission to enter United States.
me vence hasta el año 2020, este otro año, pues que es el otro diciembre, el 5 de diciembre. Pero yo estoy,
2026?
sí, estoy tratando
Okay. So the paperwork that they gave me, there's an expiration date. It lasts 2 years, so it actually expires in December 2026.
December of what?
December 2026.
Okay. All right. Now you said, I asked you about this because you said that driving without a license is a necessity because of your persecution. Did I understand that right?
tengo que tener por lo menos un permiso de trabajo.
Here?
So it's a little difficult because the job that I have to go to and provide for my family back in my country and the different paperwork that I have, sometimes doesn't facilitate the ability to get a job so easily.
I have no idea what that means.
Basically, Your Honor, that he needs to have transportation to get from job to job to provide for his family back home.
Well, I am not, sir, aware of any Kansas American law that allows that as an excuse or a legal defense, because we have a lot of people who actually live, born and raised in Kansas that have the same dilemma of needing to get to work to feed their families, and they're still required to follow the law of having a license when they drive. But if you want to talk to an attorney to see if there is some legal defense in that, you can
Pero si
either
usted
hire an
quiere,
attorney, and if you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can apply and see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Would you like an opportunity to obtain an attorney and seek attorney's advice before we proceed?
Sí, sería bueno porque yo le voy a decir, uno
Yes.
pobre y
It would be fine, Your Honor, to get an attorney, please, because the situation is difficult.
The situation is what?
Difficult here.
Difficult. Well, you said you're employed. Where do you work?
y ahí estoy ganando $600, pero ahí estoy
Hang on.
echándole
Yes, I
ganas.
have a current employment in Texas, and I'm getting $600.
You're supporting yourself and your family in Nicaragua on $600, what, a month?
Sí, sí, estoy
Yes.
apoyándola.
600 al mes,
No, y entonces a mi familia les ayudo porque
1,200 every 15 days.
Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to have you get a written application and have you fill that out under oath and get that back to me.
pero en español porque inglés no sé nada, por eso fue que
Would it be in Spanish, Your Honor? Because I don't know
Of course,
English.
of course.
Sí, claro.
I'm going to order that you reappear April 2nd at 1:30 by Zoom. You
Oh,
failed to appear August 14th, 2024. Why did you fail to appear?
yo no sabía nada de inglés, entonces no tenía nadie que me pudiera ayudar.
The instructions that to get on were in English, so I didn't understand it, and I didn't have anyone to help me to get on.
You don't know anyone that speaks English?
No, en ese tiempo no conocía a nadie
Not at
para
that time,
nada.
Your Honor. I didn't know anybody that spoke English.
How long have you been in the United States?
Ya ahorita ya tengo como año y medio ya después,
It'll
pues
be about a year and a half now.
But in a year and a half, you didn't meet anybody that could speak English and help you?
estaba queriendo aprender un poquillo,
Yes,
pero
I had a boss there in Kansas, but he moved to Mexico.
All right, well, do we have his email, Destiny?
I do not have one on file.
Do you have an
¿Tiene un correo
email,
electrónico?
son?
el problema es que no me lo sé. Si por aquí
I
no se
don't know
puede.
the email.
All right, well, sir, you've gotten yourself into a jam in the court system of the state of Kansas. That means you've got legal troubles here in Kansas. And if you don't want to be in opposition with the legal system in Kansas, you need to do something to find a way to help you understand court orders. I have got to have a way to contact you, sir.
Mi número
We're
telefónico,
not going to be able to do this with you saying you don't know anyone that speaks English and you don't know your email address. I can get an application in Spanish for an attorney to you, but you have to give me a way to get it to you. So how do I get that to you?
no puedo entrar al correo y para verlo cómo es que sale. Porque
I do have an email, but since I'm on this Zoom, there's no way for me to look it up while I'm on this Zoom.
Is there anyone with you in that car?
No,
No,
un mensaje normal con todo el correo electrónico.
I could text my email to you if I am given a phone number to text.
Where are you located right now?
En Texas,
Texas.
Where exactly in Texas?
Field
What's
505.
the name of the town?
He's giving me an address, Your Honor, where he's staying. Would you like that?
Sure.
Pues aquí yo lo que sé que es una sola ciudad, Texas, ¿no? No es
No,
Dallas, nada.
señor.
Does he have an address or does he not?
He doesn't know the address, Your Honor.
Does he know the name of the town he's in?
He doesn't. He says it's just Texas.
Just Texas. Are you at work?
Sí,
Yes.
Do you know who you work for?
he estado mucho tiempo, pero no importa,
For
usted
an
sabe que
answer?
For a man here in here in Texas, but I've taken too much time, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have a job now. But it's okay.
You're the only one in that car. You've driven to work. Correct?
sí, como aquí uno en el trabajo se queda.
Yes.
Sir, it is illegal under Kansas law and I'm pretty sure Texas law to drive without a driver's license.
Por una
One
necesidad.
answer. I've got a lot of
I
people
know.
waiting.
And it's for necessity, Your Honor.
So you admit you're violating the law of driving without a license for the reason of necessity. Is that correct?
No es quebrar la ley, simplemente yo no quisiera eso.
I
Porque
wouldn't
diga,
want to break the law, Your Honor.
Excuse me?
I would not want to break the law.
Well, you're doing it by driving today.
aquí al trabajo, pero no manejo en la
I
calle.
don't drive out
fuera.
in the street, Your Honor.
Yeah, you just told me you drove to work. You're sitting in a car with no other people in it. Your appearance bond requires that you not violate any laws. I am ordering that your appearance bond be revoked for continued violation of the law. I am ordering that your bond be set at 10,000 cash or surety. And the next appearance you have, once you're picked up on that warrant, is to be live in person at the Butler County Courthouse. Mr. Regier, I have not given you the opportunity to say anything today. Would you like to be heard?
Hay que pagar esa multa entonces.
So I would have to pay, Your Honor, that amount?
You would have to pay that amount to bond out again.
¿Cómo así? Pero no entiendo. Quiero que me explique usted.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Let's let Mr. Regier be heard.
Your Honor, I am reviewing the appearance bond in this case. It does appear to include an appearance. It does appear to include an appearance date of today's date and time, January 29th, 2025 at 9 a.m. I am not showing any special conditions actually enumerated on the bond. So in that sense, it would appear that the defendant has at least complied with the bond insofar as the appearance is concerned. So I just want to have that noted for purposes of the record.
I guess, Mr. Martinez, it's your lucky day that apparently Texas doesn't require as a condition of bond that you follow the laws. My standard written bonds, I should say the state of Kansas's standard written bonds, require that a condition of bond be to follow the laws and not to continue breaking the law.
And Your Honor, it would also appear that the appearance bond does have a certain address in the state of Kansas, and there is some language in the appearance bond that would appear to suggest this appearance bond was executed in the state of Kansas.
I'm gonna have to look at that bond again because I thought it was a foreign bond to me. Is that the one filed October 1st of 24? No, that's the bench warrant for failure to appear. Is that an appearance bond filed October 17th or January? I'm sorry, strike that. Is that an appearance bond filed January 17th of 25 that you're looking at, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, the appearance bond that I have in my file does not appear to have a file stamp date, although it does appear to have a date attached, at least suggesting sometime in October of last year.
And I stand corrected. That is an appearance bond for the state of Kansas. It is Butler County. It's a different form than what I'm used to. Appear in Division OC. What is Division OC? No,
Unfortunately,
that's out. Okay, it's out of Shawnee County, Kansas. If you look down at the bottom, I don't know why it says the state of Kansas, Butler County, but if you look at the bottom, it was clearly issued in Shawnee County, Kansas, which would be Topeka. And it does have a warning: intimidation of a witness or victim would be subject to violations of the law, but it does not have what Butler County, Greenwood County, 13th Judicial District would have as far as requiring that they not violate the law. Would you agree with that? Johnson County, and then it's stamped Johnson County Sheriff. So it says it's Shawnee County, Kansas. That's the defendant's address, apparently. Mr. Regier, it says he was living in Shawnee County, Kansas. Okay, Shawnee, Kansas, the city of Shawnee, not the county of Kansas. And it was posted by Johnson County Sheriff, October 1st, 2024. So Johnson County uses a different warrant than Butler County uses. In any event, I'm not revoking your bond because the standard condition that I usually have on here is not on here. But I am continuing this case to April 2nd at 1:30, and you must appear in person at the Butler County Courthouse at that time. And I want to be clear that I don't know how or where you are, but you are not, as a condition of your bond in this case, to drive again without a license. And I don't care
That's
what
fine.
state you're in, you cannot illegally drive without a license, because my job is to enforce the laws of the state of Kansas, and that's what I'm going to do. And if you get me an application for court-appointed attorney and I find that you qualify, I will appoint one, but you have to provide me an address or some way of getting a hold of you. Do you still have this telephone number that you put on the bond of 913-375?
Yes,
Sí,
And
Yes.
is that address in Shawnee, Kansas still where you live?
sí,
yes,
That's where you sleep of a night.
yes.
But you work in Texas for someone you don't know at some location you don't know.
Sí,
Quisiera
no lo
quién es.
conozco, no lo conozco
Yes, I don't
apenas.
know him.
All right, well, I find you very unbelievable, sir. But
Disculpe,
I am ordering that you be back here April 2nd. One
Pero
thing
neces-
is a condition of your bond.
una pregunta.
That's fine.
And
Una
if
I have a
you want a
question.
court-appointed attorney, get the application back to me by the end of this week. And if you do not comply with my orders, including do not drive, you will stand to lose that cash bond you posted.
Ajá, lo que le quiero preguntar a usted, entonces,
Okay,
ya
I have
no
a
está,
question.
ya no está.
One question, but I have used up most of my docket on one person, and I've got a lot more to cover.
Como decía ella que me quería poner $10,000,
So
nada,
there's
porque,
no cash bond of $10,000?
porque yo ya pagué mi fianza.
Posted a $1,000 cash bond, as I recall. And I am setting aside the bench warrant and the $10,000 cash bond, as long as you continue to not drive and reappear when I told you to.
Ok, está bien, voy a presentarme con
Okay,
el patrón
that's
de allá
fine.
de...
And next time you come to court, do not wear a hat. That
Está
is a
bien.
sign of
Gracias.
disrespect in this.
Lo siento, dígale que no sé nada yo cómo son las...
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
All right, we'll be in recess and you may go, sir. But you find
Gracias.
somebody else to drive that car.
Ok, está bien.
Okay,
All right,
that's fine.
Miss